Good morning, night and day. Um, Today, I think what's just playing around in my head is the word of availability. And what does that mean, and just the uh, different ways of looking at it. Um, I think the best way for me to is describe it is when with doing this job, I think one of the things I was best at was I was available. I showed up, something I felt like I needed to do. So if you called, I came. I was available. I worked 6 days a week. I only really had my cell phone. So if somebody wanted to contact me, they were contacting me directly. Um, were there times where I didn't want to answer that phone, or I didn't answer that phone? Sure. I'm not going to say I wasn't always available, but I was available. If you left a message, if you knew what you wanted and you needed it and you can explain that, or if you had something, yeah, I think just say that again. Like if you knew what you were coming to me for or had a question that I can answer, I think I was definitely available for that. I always couldn't help people. Sometimes people would call with their own energy, their own problems. And I don't think I was available in that way. I think that's what I'm kind of trying to get at with availability. I think even with my family, am I there? Am I there for them? Sure, but in certain cases, there's just pieces of me that aren't available to them, and that's I think in a way that's kind of, for me to look back, is kind of sad that I just couldn't be available in that way. And then to just kind of bring it to the business, to use as an example, it's like doing this business, coming out here on my own, wanting to, start a life out here, wanting to fit in, not with any specific, but just in general, just wanting to feel wanted to feel needed. Um, I think that's just like wanting what I would describe as like success, wanting that for myself, wanting those things in life. And, I think there are parts of me that I was willing to be open to, because it gave me no choice. A lot of things in this job, I didn't really have time to think about it. If someone needed stuff, I had to just go do it, whether that was fill a warehouse or make all these deliveries or start doing computer work and do all these things that came along with it. In that way, I needed to be available. I needed to show the best sides of me, because I needed people to kind of, in my mind, like me, or accept me, to want to use the business. I didn't have, like I said, I didn't know this product. I didn't have some business skills or sales skills, or all I had was life skills, and just kind of being able to understand people, even if I couldn't understand myself. So I think in a lot of those ways, that's how I stayed in business. I met people who liked having someone consistent, who liked knowing that they had more than just a company. They just had me. They knew that I was accountable. I wasn't going to make excuses, and I was just going to be honest, even if it was to my detriment, or because I didn't know any better. As dumb as that sounds, I just didn't know any better. I was just basing it off of like when I was a consumer, what I liked in people. And that's kind of what I wanted to do, take all the good things I've seen and all the good people I've met, and, and do what I can do, fit it to me, not try to live up to somebody else, but, try to take the things I've seen and just kind of, tailor it to me, and let let the best parts of me kind of show through in those things. Um, but I think where I couldn't be available is obviously I had a lot of like emotional, you know, I would say issues. I'll say issues. Just be easier to define it. And even a lot of physical issues that I was always dealing with. And I think I didn't want people to see those, why would someone, I always felt like, you feel like you're going to be rejected, so why is someone going to they're coming to you for a product, for something they need. And I didn't want them to see what I perceived as some of my weaknesses, or see that side of me that you're always hiding, that you just don't want people to see. And you don't want, because you think whether that's you'll be rejected, or whether that's they'll see that you're not who you think they think you are. You start going into these places in your head that make you unavailable. And I think that's kind of like the worst thing that I've like done to myself. It's just kept me from growing, from moving forward. It just kept me like so just wound up and holding on to the things that I perceived, and trying to, protect myself in a way that you just can't. You can hold on for dear life, but that's only for so long. And any time that you just keep holding on for something longer than you should, it just comes with a cost. It comes with a price. And I think part of this like process, or part of this journey is, is to start being more available. Because it just eats me up inside, knowing that I'm not reaching my full potential. It kills me inside knowing that there are just certain aspects that I just can't be available for my kids. As I said, I'm there for them. You would have to ask them, but I try to be the best I can, and try to be, as kind and firm, and try to be, have great communication when possible. But there are just parts of me that I just can't let people in. I think that's why when I moved out here and just started driving a van, it was just a getaway. As much, if I didn't have my audience to connect with, or my customers to connect with, I wouldn't have had anything really. I just didn't want to show certain sides of myself. I had kind of closed those off, and it just wasn't available. It just wasn't available for me. It wasn't available for other people. So, being by myself, I learned a lot, but it also took me farther away from what I needed. It just closed off, shut down pieces of me for when I got married and when I had kids, that they just weren't readily available anymore. I like to say like I was broken, and it took time for me to build as much. It took time for me to kind of build those things and accept those things again, accept love, accept kindness, accept that, we're all flawed people, and you can work on those things and you can fix those things, but you have to be willing to show sides of yourself to not only to other people, but to yourself. You have to be able to let go at times. And for me, this is kind of that. It's just if I can let my grip go and know that it's not helping my life in any way, it's not protecting me, it's really not. It was only making things worse and shutting off, closing doors. And I don't want that anymore. I don't, it's not something that I can, if I can't be a better person to my kids, to my wife, if I can't be that available person and and I'm running from my problems, whether that's in any way, by just not wanting to deal with what I need to deal with, then I'm not truly available. I'm not truly there for them in the way that I need to be, and I'm definitely not there for me in the way I need to be. I think with my business, it was just kept holding me back from maybe, getting to where I needed to go, but I don't think my customers ever felt it. I think they were happy. I was available for them in the right ways, and I think I kind of always kind of just said, for me, it was like, see, I can be there for them. I could be there for someone. They could call and I come, and I'm there. It's free. I've never missed a day. I show up every day. So yeah, I'm available. Look at me. Like, I do all this stuff to keep hundreds of people, not happy, but keep them from complaining, keep them from even knowing that, they have to even deal with this, because I'm available for them. I'm there for them. I'm night and day, and I'm always showing up. And if someone needs something and I have the answer, then yeah, they're going to be happy that they've met me. That's just one less thing they're going to have to deal with. But that took away from me kind of looking at myself in a deeper level. That just kept me in pain. That just kept me not fixing my problems, not and not being able to see what I really needed to see. It kept me from looking at things in a clear perspective. Because when you are in pain, when you do have emotional, you're just not going to see things that other people see. You block things off. It's like looking through the world like this. There's just things over here that I'm not going to want to see. I'm not going to turn my head to see, because you just don't want to. You think there's a reason you're not seeing it, or you're just unaware. I think a lot of it is, people are just unaware. They don't want to see it, so they don't see it. Can't see it, so they won't see it. And until something drastic happens, or something, when it's too late, then they see it, and then they regret it, or they are sad that they didn't see it. And I think you need people along the way to help you, and kind of, whether it's for, sometimes you just need someone to be kind and show you something because they went through the same thing, or kind of steer you in the right direction because they know what you're going through, and they want you to feel that freedom that they have. They want you to be able to open up and just grow. Is really what it is. It's like you want to see other people grow around you. You want to see people find their happiness, find their inner peace. And if you've dealt with something similar, to just be available by kind of telling them what they don't want to hear over and over again, but in a nice way, and try to come at it in different ways. I'm not just going to sit here and say the same thing over and over again, but I kind of am, because it's what I see is what people are ignoring, what I ignored. For so many, you want someone to see what you're going through, but at first you do, it's that give and take. You have to be able to understand that they're coming from a good place, and you have to understand that you're going to have to open up your feelings and let your guard down and kind of let people in and have faith that they're a good person, and that together, in that moment, that you can come together and try to do something to benefit you both. And so I've learned there's a lot of things I think I've gotten right, and there's a lot of things I've gotten wrong, and it's just important for me to kind of re-examine all those things and try to understand them and try to kind of pass them along and use myself as kind of a guide and an example of just what I could have done better and if I could do it again, and not live in the past, but just use that to kind of guide my future and guide where I want to be and where I'm going, and try to understand that. So for me, it's why I'm thinking about availability. I think I need to be available in ways, and I've gone about that through practice, through just changing my behaviors, and just a lot of practice. We can practice anything, you put anything to practice, and that's what I have done. Through all these years, I don't ever looked at it like, I don't know. I never looked at it like as the business. I just looked at it like the business needed help, I needed help, and let's just put it to work. Let's just keep practicing. I didn't know where this can go. I still don't know. I don't know where this can lead. But I just need to keep coming and practicing and getting better. And I think it leads somewhere, and it's led places. But at the end of the day, I think that's what makes me do it, is I don't know what is next. And I'm scared and excited and all at the same time. And it's just what I have to do. And if it's not for me, maybe it's for somebody else, and that's fine too. And hopefully it's for both, though. Hopefully it's something that brings me pride and brings me joy, and hopefully it helps other people and gives them, at the end of the day, gives a community a voice, and not just a voice of complaining and sadness, but a voice of learn from me, learn from the good things, and take that and do something great. And so that's kind of what I always want to see this. And so I will continue to be available and try to just open myself in different ways, and find new spaces to create and to, find positivity in, and try to get rid of those other spaces. Try to just fill them in, try to, fix what's broken, but don't forget about it. It was broken for a reason, and not forget about the journey, of the lessons learned. Those need to stay with me in anything I'm doing. This all happens for a reason, in my opinion, and so I'm no longer looking to run from things or hide from anything. I'm looking to accentuate it and make it better. That's it. And if I can't, I can always try to come back to it. Try to just leave that door open and know that I might not be capable of doing something now, but there's always something I could be working on. There's always something I could be doing, and I can always come back. I think we're so scared of time sometimes, but there is a lot of time. We have time. It's just how you prioritize it and, make use of it. So again, I'm going to use mine to become a better, more available person. That's what I've been doing. And just keep letting walls come down, and hope underneath all those walls, there's just something awesome there. So thank you. watch, subscribe,